Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. And today it's back into Gary Grigsby's War in the East 2. This is our Let's Play against the crafty AI. I have got the big overhead view on here because I just love to see all of the red light up here. Looks like you're coming up to a major stoplight. That is a bunch of isolated units that we have out in the middle of the map. The game kind of worked out that way. It was not some kind of master plan, although maybe I'll always claim, in a few years, I'll claim, gosh, do you remember when the Pripyat Gambit worked? Anyway, we have got all of these units trapped out here, hopefully. I mean, we've got to clean it up and we've got to press this way to the east and press this way to the west, get these guys truly and completely isolated so that the Hungarians can just run over them. And also start thinking about where our line is going to be in the winter, how far out here we want to try to push, etc., etc., etc. Now, I'm not live streaming today. I thought we would take a breather for a day and let the panzers cool down, and we would do some ministerial stuff. And that's why I'm just recording it. I was going to do it offline, probably take me about an hour, and I thought, well, we may as well record it if someone is interested. And so I'm going to go around and look at the air component, the different commands we have, and if it makes sense how we have it set up and where things are based, etc. We're also going to look at the logistics and the command structure. We just got a brand new Army Group B down in the south that we'll need to put some units under and kind of divide it up between the old Army Group South, which is now going to be Army Group A, and Army Group B in the south. So let's get started. There's a lot to do actually when it comes to house cleaning here. So let's go and look at Luftflotte 1. All right, Luftflottes, if you're kind of new to the game a little bit, you haven't watched the tutorials or just haven't watched my initial setup, Luftflottes kind of think of those as army groups. Now, I always boil this stuff down to ground. I take it and then I move it over to the ground to get it kind of set in my head. And so, yes, these are Luftwaffe command. This is a complete separate command structure from the ground. All I'm saying is it's equivalent to like an army group on the ground. Then you have Flieger corps underneath them. I would compare that to armies on the ground. So like 18th Army or 9th Army. A Flieger corps is similar to that. Then you get down to the individual, what they call in this game, air operational groups, AOGs. I think of those as like corps. And then they have the squadrons in them, and I think of those like divisions. Again, I just boil it down to on the ground because in this game, 90% of it's in the ground. It helps me keep it straight in my head. So Luftflotte's army groups, armies, AOGs are similar to corps, and then the individual squadrons underneath them, I'd think of those as like divisions. So when we're looking at the command structure, the Luftflotte, of course, is over all of this. Um, One Flieger Corps reports directly to the Luftflotte, and then your utility planes, whether they be Transport Group North or your recon planes that you have spread around here. This is recon, that's recon. They report directly to Luftflotte 1. That's just how the Luftwaffe is set up. They report directly to Luftflotte 1, where all of the fighter and bomber AOGs report to one Flieger Corps, which then reports to your Luftflotte. Okay, so that's the command structure. KGs are bombers. JGs, if we can find one, those are fighters. You always want your fighters out close to the front because they have a limited range, right? STGs like this, those are dive bombers, Stukas. So here we see a JG-52. Those are fighters. We have them in Minsk. KG, you can put your bombers further back. So KG-1, KG-55. Your transport planes can be way back here. Your recon planes can also be quite a ways back. These bombers we have staged, a little closer to the front than we usually would have bombers, I guess. and we may move those. There's no reason to have them here. If this broke through, it could overrun our airfield. You certainly don't want that. Okay, let's look at Luftflotte 1, and there you go. These are all of the different AOGs down here that it commands, and also, the Flieger Corps that further commands the bombers and the fighters anyway. And you can look over here and you can see everything on the top that reports directly into the Luftflotte. All right, so these should be, for the most part, all recon aircraft or transport aircraft. Now, Transport Group North, you can see down here, goes directly up to the Luftflotte. And then if we go a little further down, you see one Flieger Corps. And you see JG 51 and 3, JG 52, STG 77, and then the bombers KG 1, KG, these are all bombers. Now, this group right here, and we'll click on that very quickly, for some reason is going to, hmm, now, when I looked at that, it looked, no, it's going directly to the Luftflotte. Okay, well, that's what we want. Not sure why it's listed all the way down here, because that makes it look like it's going to one Flieger Corps, but okay, let's check this one as well. Yep, it's assigned directly to the Luftflotte. Okay. Um, Now then, we have got, just these individual air operational groups out here. Well, these are actually the squadrons, so it's even lower. That's like the division level, right? Um, these guys, let's see. Yeah, they all report directly to Luftflotte 1. Now, we could probably put them in an AOG that is actually, let's see, that's TAC, this one's TAC Recon. I was just seeing if it was TAC Recon, German TAC Recon. Now, you have Tactical Recon and you have Strategic Recon. Tactical Recon is for closer to the front to see what units the Soviets have, what kind of strength they have. Your Strategic Recon is more to fly over cities, over production, to see, potential bombing sites, things like that. And so we have this group out here, and I feel like we could take some of these recon aircraft and reassign them underneath them so that they're actually getting command. There we go. And now it's under that AOG. You see here, its ultimate air headquarters is Luftflotte 1, but it's now got a command structure here. I don't know what that C means. Let's actually, okay, at some point I'm going to get off that screen. There we go. Okay. So this is 122. This is C. You can see it's got aircraft at Ostrov and Jagopils. Let's look at this for a second. Luftflotte 1, flexible. It's supposed to trail after 18th Army, but we're actually doing all of that manually. Okay, so I mean that's fine. That just gives it more command for those recon aircraft. And if we come down here, we've got more of these recon aircraft. These are at Talon up here into the north. There you see Talon. So you can see all of the different bases where things are staged, and then the command bubbles. Those kind of float to the middle of where everything that it controls is staged. And so all of these really, these 13s. Now in the old game, these used to be named after the actual army that they were following or attached to, let's put it that way, but that's not how this works. Now these are all going to Luftflotte 1. Again, these could go to that 125C. It's going to give them more command. Whoops. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't know why I wouldn't. So these are all recon. All right. This may take a little longer than I thought. Some of these are way out of command. Okay. Now that unit that we're putting them into, or that command that we're putting them into, ultimately goes directly to Luftflotte 1 for its command. And we can see that here in a second. Click off there. And now you can see this has moved a little further to the north because it's got command of everything up here. If we look at this, its commander is Luftflotte 1, so it's assigned directly to that. What we're doing is just adding an extra layer of command. And you may say, well, why do you want to do that? Well, when the game does its dice rolls, it's going to go through this first and then to the Luftflotte second. It gives you a better chance of passing dice rolls. I mean that's the kind of the the quick and easy explanation. Now this is a transport group. This really should be in one of the transport groups. So let's put that in transport group north. Now we got to kind of pay attention to where we're talking about here. So now we're to various recon aircraft. They're in Valmira. Where is Valmira? We can look. It's all these are all in the blue. There it is back here. So really, I mean, this is already close. We may as well put it in there. All right. It's not nearly as entertaining as like blowing stuff up. I don't know. I'm very OCD, so I kind of like uh, this kind of stuff. But that's why I'm just recording this and not live streaming it. All right, now we have a couple of squadrons here, or air groups, I guess, as they're called in the game. AGs, not AOGs, AGs, that are just out here orphaned. They're all kind of by themselves. These are tactical bombers. All right. Let's go and look at the command. I was looking at this before the episode started, and I realized you can't put these in one Flieger Corps, whatnot. That's because the rest of this group is in the south. All right, it's way down in Luftflotte 4, so it's only giving us 4 Flieger Corps, 8th Flieger Corps, and Luftflotte 4. Well, of course, we could fly these down there. That's certainly possible. Let's go look at Luftflotte 4, or I'm sorry, 4 Flieger Corps and 8th Flieger Corps, if I can ever get off all of this. There we go. All right, so here's 8th Flieger Corps. All right. Here's 4 Flieger Corps. 4 Flieger Corps got 3 AOGs of bombers. Now, what we're looking at are tactical bombers. It also made it clear that, never mind, never mind. And then 8th Flieger Corps has got some Stukas or dive bombers. It's got some ZGs. These are fighter bombers, some more dive bombers, and then it's got 2 fighter groups or fighter AOGs, and then it's got 3 bombers back here. So I think what we'll do is we'll put it into 8th Flieger Corps. It's got, less of the bombers, it appears. Although we click on these and make sure. Let's look at 4th Flieger Corps. It's showing 269 ready aircraft out of 299. If we look at, let's get up here like this, we can't, there we go. When you look down here at 4th Flieger Corps, it's got 269 bombers. 8th Flieger Corps has 250 fighters and 312 bombers. We actually probably need to even that up a little bit when we get down here. So I actually think I'm going to put this in 8th Flieger Corps, and the reason is it's got a lot more fighter cover, fighter escort. So up we go. Okay, this is Doggo Pills, right? Um, I was hoping I could. Well, we'll do that in a minute. Okay, back over here. So let's put these guys at Doggo Pills. Let's put them into 8th Flieger Corps. All right. Then we'll put the other guy in 8th Flieger Corps. There we go. All right. And if we go down here, now they don't have a commander, and so it makes it kind of hard to move them around or figure out how to move them around. And I was looking at this before the episode. Let's click on this again. Now see, you can't see them here anymore. So what will we have to do? We have to go down to 8th Flieger Corps, which is now moved up to the center of the map because it's got planes up here now. So now you can see it. Here they are. All right. Let's transfer, reassign. We don't want to reassign. Let's click on that. I think what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to send these to the reserve for a turn, um, and then bring them back out on the map into 8th Flieger Corps. Now, they will have lost their command when they go back into the reserves. And if we go look at the reserves here, you won't see these yet. They'll show up this next turn. Let's just look and see what we have here. We've got Romanian fighters, Romanian, you know, so on and so forth. We've got Hungarian fighters. Now, we may bring those Romanian fighters out if we find a good place for them. We've also got some tactical bombers back here. And then we have level bombers, including some that go to KG-76, KG-1. These have built up pretty well. I mean, 30, 29, 30 for KG 27. So we'll be coming back here and looking at these and pulling them back out on the map. We've also got some recon aircraft back here, including Italian recon. And as everyone knows, that's the best recon, is Italian recon. Okay. Let's get back over here to Luftflotte 1 as we go back down here. What else do we have here? We have transport. All right, well, this transport needs to go back to a transport group. Let's put this in transport group Mitte or middle. Um, okay. And again, you can just see how over time we got a lot of orphaned units that didn't really belong where they were. Now we have some tactical bombers, and those are going directly into Luftflotte 1. We may want to bring those to the south, potentially. I may also, just for this turn, we've got 1, 2, 3. We got to find the command for STG2 because its command group is out here somewhere. Let's go down on the map. Is it down here in the south? There's STG1, there's STG2, and you can see STG2. I've put some other units into it, but those aircraft need to come back out on the map down here with the STG2. Ultimately, that is who its commanders are. You know, they ended up here in the north, but its command is all the way down in the south. Um, these dive bombers. Yeah, and what I'm going to do is shuffle them back to the reserves and then back out. All right. So we got a few less dive bombers here, but they had no command, and we've got other dive bombers, so I'm not that worried about it. You know, we've got STG 77, and when those come back out of the reserves, now we can put them in any of the commands that we want to. We just want to make sure they're not going directly up into the Luftflotte. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Okay, back into it. What do we have here? These are probably, and they are fighter bombers. These are part of ZG2. And again, they ended up here in the north because we were scrambling at one point. I should have fixed these at some point. No harm, no foul. It's not like we've been losing a lot of aircraft or something. ZG1 is here. Do we have a ZG2 out here? Not seeing that we do. All right, let's put those back in the reserves and we'll pull them back out next time. And we'll still have plenty of aircraft on the map. Now we've got some more transport. These are at Caravesello? Sure. I probably completely butchered that. There it is. It's right up here by Pskov. So again, it's very close to this group. Our other recons all the way down here, so we may as well put them in there. All right. We may have reached our limit there with that. I think you can have what 10 groups in one of those smaller commands. Uh, to, 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 this wants to go to the south as well, though. Oh, that's what the problem is. Okay, let's just send that to the reserve for a turn, and then I'll have a lot of things to take out of the reserve next time. Okay, so we're in the Luftflotte now, or we're into, there's no more orphans up there. We've got the transport group. These should all be German transport planes, and it appears they are. We could go get some out of the reserves if we wanted to. We've got these at Königsberg back here and Neuhausen. So they're right back here. We could bring an AOG in from the reserve if we wanted to. If we look at our reserve again, click off that, click back on. What do we have for transport aircraft down here? It looked like we had quite a few. No, actually we don't. These need to build back up. It doesn't look like we're building any transport aircraft, if you notice that. We had none that had filtered in there, or maybe they're just replacing what we have out here now. Okay, now then, let's look at something like KG-51. Now, this is a little dangerous, right? We don't need it this close to the front. So we're going to hit on KG-51, and I'm going to rebase it a little further to the north here. Let's draw the box. It could be just anywhere back here is fine. Okay, it wants to go back to these air bases. You can see here, we're going to transfer and we're going to let's do a plan transfer. We're not really doing a whole lot in the north when it comes to bombing. And so they're all coming out of Ostrov. That's weird because it had shown them up here, but we're going to move them all back here so they're ready to bomb in the north. Now then, we've got KG1 that's a long ways back here. It really doesn't need to be this far back. And you can see we've only got like 63 aircraft here. Well, we don't want to do shift. Let's do control. And again, we don't really need the bombers that close to the front. Valmyra. So this was a part of KG1 was up here. They're going to all rebase. They were really spread out. Um, Perfect. Okay. Let's do that as a plan transfer. Now, what's the difference there? Well, if you do it immediately, they go to that airbase right then. Whether they have support or not, it can cause operational losses because they're going to fly missions with really no aviation support. And so if you can, you want to do them as planned transfers. All right, backing up then. Now, these guys did not have a lot of bombers. He's got 63 bombers. KG-51 has got, well, he's got 120. It's more than I thought it was, quite frankly. KG-53, it's out here now. We have bombers in Veliki Luki. There is no reason for that to happen because if Veliki Luki gets overrun, you potentially lose those bombers. So we've got plenty of level 2 airfields back here. Let's back up out of Veliki Luki. We'll do this also as a planned transfer. All right, and now our bombers will be back here. That is far preferable to having some get overrun at Veliki Luki. This is also if your AOGs get spread out. For instance, when we had those in Dogopils, I could have also rebased them by clicking on this and then dragging across the bases, and these would have flown down there. Okay, but I'd rather put them in the reserves for a turn. All right, dive bombers. Let's talk dive bombers. Let's look at their range. It's actually quite good for dive bomber. You wouldn't expect maybe the Stukas get out that far. They can go a long ways out here. You see the two different range circles. So that's good. We probably don't really need them up here, but they're also not really at risk. The fighters, on the other hand, like JG-51, you can see some of the fighters that are part of this are part of JG-51. I mean, they can't really get out here very far, right? So we may want to put them in a place a little closer to the front, but I'm not ready to put them in Smolensk yet. I've got JG 3 up here, and we can see it's got 36 total fighters, 34 that are ready. We could also pull something from the reserves because that doesn't seem like very many fighters. JG 51 has a lot more. It's got, 155 and 159. As a matter of fact, I may even this up a little bit. So we've got part one of the AOG, two, three, four. Let's take this part four and let's put it up into JG3. Um, that will put it up into Smolensk. Okay. And now you can see JG3 got pulled back here. Let's rebase back up here to Smolensk. All right. And they'll all be, and we'll do that as an immediate transfer. Execute the transfer. All right. Now JG3 is all up there. And if you look at JG3, now it's got 73 and 75. And JG 51's got 116 ready, 119 total. Little more even, little more even. And JG3, you can see the range really gets out here. Um, I actually would like these fighters a little closer out here. We need them out in this area. It doesn't do any good to be running escort back here, right? What would be a good? Well, we could put them in Mogilev. All right, let's just actually move them up to Mogilev. Let's do a control. All right, and it'll tell you, so 119 planes are moving out of the 200 engines, so 119 engines, so these are single engine aircraft. Mogilev can handle 200. Let's just do that, and we'll do it as an immediate transfer as well. And then the support will just have to try to catch up. But now you see the range circles for some of the fighters in this group get out to here. Some of the other fighters get way out here, and that's what we want to see. All right, so always moving your fighters up to the front. The Stukas can stay right here. That's totally fine. You can see this is in green, meaning we actually did have support already. We're good shape there. We're not overstacked. That's the green. JG3, KG. We've got KG 55 way back here in Vilnius. It's probably burning up more fuel than it needs to way back there. We could try to move this up a little bit, or we could move it down in this area, like let's say to Minsk, because that's really what it's supporting. Now that we're going to be cleaning up this pocket, I don't want to get it quite that far. I didn't like any of that. We've got that here. I mean, really, Minsk is the place to be, I guess. 3 air bases, 1 airbase, but it's telling us that will be fine. We will not be overstacked. Let's do that as an immediate transfer. All right. Now KG 55 is right up here. Uh, and we do have fighters. We've got JG 52 here. We've got 80 aircraft between these two groupas. We need to find the Stab for JG 77. Where could the Stab for JG 77 be? It's probably back in the reserves, actually. Let's go look. We don't have too much back here, but no, it's not back here. Huh. All right. Well, that's something I may have to just go look for offline. I don't want you to sit around here where I'm, just going nuts. Oh, let's take Transport Group North and let's actually rebase it to Warsaw. Did I say no? Mitte, middle. Transfer, immediate transfer. All right. So now the transport group will have one here in the middle as we move forward. If we need to get stuff out, we could even put that straight up to KDO. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put that in if we can. Yeah, there we go. LW KDO East. And now it's part of this kind of center air that we haven't really talked about or built up in any fashion. Looking at the reserves, I like to keep going back here just to make sure there's not something I'm forgetting. 76, did we just see KG 76? Because we could bring that out. Let's see. KG 55. KG-53, KG-1, KG-51. It must be in the south. There it is, KG-76. So those bombers, we'll look at them one more time. That group right there, there's 30 of them. They already have a command. Now, we could give these a different command if we wanted more bombers, let's say in the north, and maybe we should do that because I feel like we got a lot more in the south. Is that true? Well, one way you can check that is you can look at, actually, let's get off that, scoot up. One Flieger Corps got a 504 bombers, so that's Luftflotte 1. This Flieger Corps has 312. Overall, Luftflotte 4 has 620 bombers. So yeah, you could make the argument we're a little overstacked to the north. So if we go back to the reserves, now I have not tried to change the command back here. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to allow me to do that. So I guess I will put it on the map in the south. We can always change that then once it gets on the map if we want to. But let's put it down here by its AOG. We could bring it into, let's say, Nikolaev. Where are you? Where are you? Romanian transport. That's what we need. Oh, we got to do it. Bring air group. Sorry, that was my bad. There it is. Excuse me. We can say it can go across multiple air bases. That's fine. Let's make the transfer. All right, and it's going to come on the map right out here. Alrighty then. Let's go look at more from the reserves. We could bring, if we had transports into transport group middle, or mitte, we've got some recon, but I like to have this back here. We could bring the Italian recon on the map. Is that really necessary? I don't know. KG-1, KG-27, and another KG-1. Let's go find KG-1 and bring those onto the map. I think that was in the north, was it not? All right. That should even things up a little bit, actually. There's KG-1. All right, so back here at Riga, let's bring air groups on the map, and we'll find the two KG-1s. There we go. Multiple air bases is fine, and we'll put them down, and they're right next to their AOG. It'll take a turn for them to really show up here. They're not going to be shown here yet. You see the Stab, which is the command. It's got a 2, a 3. We just brought 1 and 4 onto the map. So that's going to be a lot more firepower for KG-1. All right, back into the reserves we go. We've got KG-27. We have the Stab for KG-100. All right, so let's look for KG-27. That was a slow scroll. Whoa, where in the heck did I get off to? There we go. Okay. KG-27. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Um, let's bring those bombers in here. Bring an air group in. KG-27. There you are. Just kind of looking what else we have here. JG-51 has a Stoffel we could bring on. Okay, anyway, transfer multiple bases, that's fine. That'll come on the map there. Okay, we're emptying quite a bit of the reserves, obviously. Stab for KG 100. I haven't seen KG 100, I don't believe. Is that not on the map, or is that the only element of KG 100? I think that's the case. All right, I'm not going to spend a lot of time wasted looking for that. And then we have this KG-53. It's the Croat group into KG-53. I just can't remember if that's on the map or not. No, but we could just directly attach it to Luftflotte 4 potentially. All right, let's go back there. What's it attached to now? Stoffel. Nothing. Okay. It's more level bombers. We could, put these somewhere maybe in the middle. We don't have a lot back here into KDO East. So let's just pick, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Let's pick, well, we got to pick something with an air base. Bring air group from the reserve, and we'll bring the Croats out here. Okay, and we'll transfer that. Yes, all right. And then when they get here on the map next time, we'll put that as their command. What is this NAGR? Those are recon. Oh, those are the strat recons. Okay, so those are our strat recons, NAGR. Well, it's got some tactical in it too. I'll fix that. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me do all that. Okay, I think in the air now we're starting to get a little, better. We're getting this kind of pared down a little bit. We got Italian fighters, Hungarian fighters, transport group middle, third Hungarian bombers. So we've got a real mishmash of junk out here. These NAGRs. Man, I'm tempted to send all of this back to the reserve. A lot of that is strat recon. I think previously I had, well, some of it's tack though. All right, I'll just leave it on the map. I don't think it hurts. Looking in the reserves one more time then. Let's just make sure there's nothing else I want to bring out. Italian recon could go into that middle LD or LWKDO East. We have more recon there. A bomber. We got a Stoffel. Eh, there's not a whole lot. I guess the Romanian fighters would be the main thing that might be helpful to have on the map because in the south, zoom out, in the south, right down here, excuse me, we do not have a lot of fighters. And I guess, let's bring them on. Why not? How about here? Bring air groups from the reserve. Oh, we're not seeing Hungarian fighters. There we go. Romanian fighter flotilla. Okay. Romanian Air Command? No. This is how you do it from the reserves if you want to change the command. Um, Interesting. Okay. Oh, that's a full AOG. Sometimes I just forget that. Let's right click on this again. Here we go. Italian Recon Group. Well, shit. Now I'm going to have to go back to the reserves and see who their command is. It's only in Axis Reserves. Okay, well, how do I... It's 6th Romanian Fighter Group, 5th Romanian Fighter Group, 7th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Okay, let's use the mini-map. There we go. All right, we'll click on there. Can we see the 5th, 6th? Well, they're not there. Not there. Fighter bombers. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Let's bring an AOG in then. What if I go to the reserves? This is how we all learn together, of course. This is, right. Group type 36. It's only got 6 aircraft. Maybe I'll just leave them back here anyway and try to get this to build a little bit. It's a Groupa. That's the type. It's only got 5, 6, 8, 11 planes for a Groupa. Um, hmm. Okay, let's go back up here. Second Romanian fighter flotilla. So could I bring it in? Oh, maybe what? Let's bring them into a base if we can. Oh, wow. got a lot of Romanian recon there. I don't know why I'm not able to. It has to do with. What if I brought this fighter flotilla on? Okay, nope, that's not it. Or that wasn't the right one. Let's put it that way. Let's bring AOG. Ah, there's the 7th Romanian fighter group. Okay, sorry, oh boy, it's been a while since I've done that. All right, there comes the 7th. Sweet, okay. Um, Now then, we'll put them in Romanian command here in a minute. Let's go back down here. Are there any other Romanian fighter groups that I'm just not seeing? No. Now, I don't know why that wouldn't have shown up when I say bring an air group from the reserve. It's not showing up here. Um, I don't know. It's a question I'd like answered, but we found it. We are going to put this directly into the Romanian group, not Luftflotte 4. Romanian, is it combat? Which was the smaller one? Well, we're about to find out. Combat Air Command. Okay. Romanian Air Command, Combat Air Command, Combat Air Command. Got it. Got it. Okay. Shit. Sorry, that took a little longer than I'd hoped. Everything else out here, I think, is pretty good. We could start moving the bombers up. Now, of course, he's now got armor right up here. Let's just make sure. Let's back up and let's make sure. Now, that's recon. We know that now. KG-58 or KG-28, I'm sorry. It's just kind of out here in the middle of nowhere. Let's move it to more of a central location. I don't think we need it out here in the pocket anymore. The reason I had it where it was, oh, it just wants to go to Proskhorov? Nah, let's move it up further than that. The reason I had it where it was is it was helping in the pocket. We don't need it up that far, but let's, KG-28, let's change you. KG-28, let's change. Why does it keep doing that? Oh, I guess I have to actually move the box? My goodness. Got to cancel that before I can draw another one. All right, let's do this again. Yeah, we don't want it that far forward though. I want it right here in the center. Let's draw better. How about that? How about right there? There we go. All right, let's do a plan transfer for that. So we'll get some support up there. Looks like they already had some support, so that'll be fine. All right, backing up again. We'll just leave the recon back there. JG-54, do we really need fighters into this? I don't think so. So let's move them up. Oh, by the way, our air landing division got removed from the map. And so nothing's in East Kiev, the dangerous East Kiev. We're gonna have to move back across the river there. I was like, what in the hell is going on? Um I don't see the air landing division. All right, maybe we'll bring I don't want to put it, right up here. Not yet. We will. Let's just move it. Shoot, I don't know. Like here and there. Yeah, let's do that. All right. That'll be planned. Off you go. Okay. It's going to fly into Brusilov. So if you do the planned, it happens after your ground movement or during that phase. So just always keep that in mind. All of this stuff can really start moving east, right? The Stukas, there's no reason to have Stukas hitting over here. Let's pull them down here. I think we're okay there. So they can start helping into this. We'll do a plan transfer. Okay. All right, so STG1's moving over here. KG3, that's fine. KG28, that looks good. We've got more Stukas that we can move around. I'm going to leave them here for now. We've got fighter bombers that are kind of out here in a bad position, really. Let's put them down at like this level 2 airfield. Let's get more things into the middle to help. We'll do that. There's only 8 aircraft. It's not like it's going to make the difference in the war or something. So down that goes. All right. Otherwise, fighters here. That looks good. I like that fine. We need some more fighters up here. Let's look at 8th Flieger Corps again. Let's do it this way. It's got 250 fighters. JG-54 that I was going to take to Brusilov. Maybe that's the one. JG, that's got 137 planes. That's got 113. You know what? Let's cancel this. Cancel that transfer. All right. And let's grab those again, and we'll actually bring them to the south. Right up in here, potentially. I mean, we could put them in Z-Town, maybe. Okay, that looks a little big. What if we put them, like, here? Let's do that. All right. Plan transfer. There they go. All right. I think that's going to be enough for the air. Let's move on to logistics. We may actually want to put those in 4th Flieger Corps as well. Where did that go? Sorry. Did they already get over here? Yeah. Let's put those in 4th Flieger Corps. That makes sense. All right. There we go. All right, so this is all 8th Flieger Corps over here, and now 4th Flieger Corps actually has some fighters to go with all of the bombers that 4th Flieger Corps has. If we look at the numbers, 4th Flieger Corps 113 fighters, 269 bombers, and now 8th has got 137 and 312. Good. Okay, so that kind of evens it up. That is the air that I wanted to just configure. I wanted to look it over and make sure that we're in good shape. Now I want to move these fighters and the bombers to start looking east. We've a lot of this has been looking back northwest. Over here, we're going to be moving fighters and bombers to look into all of this on the assault on Stalino. If we can get out there in the middle, they're not really doing a whole lot. I've got Hungarians and Italians out here. It's really we've got fighters, Stukas, fighters and bombers. We've got bombers up here, and then we've got actually probably too many bombers in the north. This KG-1 should probably move down here. This is where the action is. As a matter of fact, let's put them in these bases, and we'll do that as a plan transfer. There we go. All right, now it's done. Now it's done. All right, do we want to see any recon this time? I think so. Why not? Recon's fun. He is bulging here. We hate when he's bulging. I kind of am curious what's out here, so let's do a recon with Luftflotte 4. Whoa, let's get the range circles off. Let's get the range circles off. Okay. Wow. I was like, man, oh man. Get back over here. Range circles off. There we go. Okay. Now let's do a recon mission, and all of that did not show up this time. I'm really curious what's out here by Stalino. All right. So let's just click, I don't know, somewhere out here in the middle. How about there? Looks good. Oh, he's got fighter escort now. I don't even want him to have fighter escort. We also want this to go down to 9,000 feet. We have not set this up for Luftflotte 4. We'll go there in a minute. But let's do 9,000, intensity high, unit 3, interdict 4. So we'll see. The interdict is when it's stuff you haven't seen yet. Units is stuff that you have. Confirm 9,000 feet. That all looks fine. Poor and excellent. Recon. Let's take. I'm just looking. I kind of want to make sure I don't have. Well, I'll leave it on auto. Um, it's got 37 escorts. I don't want it to have any escorts. No on the partial escorts. Um, is that true? Well. No, I don't want it to do partial escorts. That can also ground them, so they're not doing it. Let's confirm that very quickly. And then let's go to our air doctrines. Okay, recon. This should be 9,000 feet. And this is how it will set them up. Partial escorts, no. Follow path, no. Intensity, high. 20. Escort percentage, 0. 80% to fly, 20. Okay, that all looks good. All right. And then let's actually make this a 4 on the radius. Let's change this so it's flying pretty much over all of our troops. This gets it back to Stelino. Let's do a 5. Let's do it even bigger. I really want to know what's back here. Okay, so that's confirmed. Okay, off we go. And now if we click back here, you can see delete that one, and we're just going to keep the one with 5. That's the one we want. All right. In the south, it's potential we would want to see this, or maybe what's back here by Cherkasy. So let's get on a new recon directive. Let's just go back here. Let's get our flight path right, where we don't think they have any units anyway. And now you can see 9,000, and it's got everything else filled out for us for the most part. We'll do 3 on the unit. We'll do an area of 4. An area. Do we not have enough aircraft? Yeah, we do. If you don't see purple, you don't have enough aircraft to run a mission this big. And you can change your area to, a 3 or a 2 or a 1. But if you don't see purple, it means the missions are not going to be run. Our escorts, to the extent they would go out, would only go to there. So I like that just fine. All right, let's click off that. Okay. Cool. All right, so we've got a couple of recon going over there. I'm not sure we really care what's going on in there. We don't care what's going on in the pocket. I mean, I care, but not enough to do recon. I'm curious what's out this way, but not enough to do recon again. He's really massing here. You can see that as we look at it. All right, let's run the air directives. Those are the two. No, hold on. Let's get down here. Let's see if we can see it all happen. I kind of like when you see the lightning bolts. All right, perfect. Now let's run the, no, let's click on a hex out here. That way it centers on that. There we go. All right, now we can see all of our directives being run. You can see a lot of missions going on. Sorties, I should say, 180, 2 losses. All right, we only lost 13 aircraft. That's awesome. And you could see the recap right down here. Recon, this is where we were doing it. We also did a few in the north. That's a leftover. I should probably get rid of that one. But hey, maybe it got us some information. We didn't lose any planes, so that's fine. We ran 177 sorties on the first one that we set up. We ran 397 on the second. We lost 10 recon on the mission. We lost 0 escorts. Excellent. And we lost 3 recon on this second recon directive, 3 recon aircraft, 0. Damaged 6 and 9. But we didn't, no fighters. No fighters were involved. That's good. I don't really care about the recon aircraft that much. We've got a lot of them, and we're not using them for anything else. We may as well go for it. What did we find out? Well, he's got some units back by Stelino. I'm shocked. It did fill this in a little bit, I feel like. Just with some extra units that we see. And then this one back here, we can see he doesn't really seem to have a big secondary line on the river. He's got a few things back here, headquarters, etc. Okay, maybe we learned something. It was worth a few planes, sure, why not? All right, let's look at logistics. Let's turn on the N. And let's just look at our logistics network, and we'll also look at where we're supplying out of. And here you can see the white line is going base to base, essentially, or depot to depot. Out here at Sonda, we got this much in, we have this much stored, actually quite a bit, and that's how much we sent out. So pretty much now everything that we're receiving, we're sending out, and that's the capacity of the depot. We've got that out of 4. It's the one, this is perfect. That's what you want. It's getting, freight in. It's a 4. It's got plenty. It's supplying these guys. Great. Talon's a 3. It's supporting this air base, especially now. Now that we're going to have more planes up this way. Nothing more to see there. It's a 3. I've got a 2, 3, 4 from the coast. I've got a lot of 2s along the edges here. And then as we get closer to the main distribution centers, I go to either 3 or 4. In Talon's case, it's further back, so I don't want everything to stop there. I want it to pass on out here to Sonda, and that's the 4. Okay, 2 in Riga, and then we've got 3s here in the middle. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So it's pulling freight, and it also is supplying some of the air bases, but it should, to the extent it needs to, be passing out to Veliki Luki. And here, Veliki Luki, it's got quite a bit stored up. It's sending out everything it receives, and you can see, it's freighting almost everything here kind of in its axis. So that's great. That's how it should work. That looks good to me. I don't think there's any reason for me to go all the way back here. For the most part, if it's in Germany, it's a 0 or a 1. As we get into East Prussia and on into Poland, and also into Latvia, Estonia, etc., uh, it goes from 2s to 3s, and then at the big depots, those should be 4s. So Vitebsk is doing quite a bit of the freighting. That all looks good. We may want to move that, and this will show you we probably have to fix the rail right here that goes into Mogilev. Let's take off the logistics. Let's look at the rail. There we can see it with the 8 on. Excellent. Yep, the rail into Mogilev is broken. And so we've got this rail unit here. We'll build that up and we'll make Mogilev a 4. It's just a lot closer. And that will reduce. Now let's see here for a second. Let's take that off. Let's take 8 off for a second. I said I wasn't going to move any units, but let's just do this while we're at it. This is about logistics. Now we'll bring him down. We also need to repair this right here, but let's get into Mogilev first. All right, so we'll R, and you can see there's secondary rail out here saying, we got to fix this, guys. Let's go. Oh, I got to do that next time. All right, so we fix this, we fix that, then we'll do this major rail that runs down here, and we'll connect Minsk to Vitebsk and get this all, of course, he was all the way up here, and now we've pushed him back enough, now we can fix all of that. And that's part of the reason you want to go through your logistics network as well to figure out what you need to be repairing. Back to logistics we go. All right. Let's click on that so it looks a little prettier. We've got 4 at Vitebsk. We've also got a 4. Now, we could make this a 3 to make sure it's passing on, but you can see, it's helping back here and certainly over here. Now, once we get Mogilev in, this probably should become you know what? Just so I don't forget, and it's got a big storage here. You can see the blue. It should pass that out, and then also down to Mogilev when Mogilev gets repaired. We've still got the depot here. It did not get destroyed. So as we move around to the side, we've got Minsk here. If we look at our rail in and around Minsk, this is going to be helpful because then to the extent Vitebsk gets stuff that it's not pushing here or pushing here, it may push it down here, could help because now as you can see, Minsk is freighting all of this stuff out here Interesting. Okay, we have a level 2 here that's freighting some stuff here and a level 1. We probably one of these, or maybe we do it at, well, I don't want Vilnius to be a 3 because I don't want it to grab up or gobble up a bunch of stuff, but something out here needs to be a 3, I think. And I think we'll click right there on Grodno. What's its rail yard? It's only a 1. I wish there was, there probably is a way to pull up the rail yard size, because you would prefer to have it be a rail yard 2 if we're going to. I'm actually surprised some of this isn't coming out of Vilnius. Uh, or more, let's put it that way. But we're really no supplies pushing out of Vilnius at all. It's pushing along almost everything. All right, well, I think Grodno makes the most sense. Let's bump that to a 3. All right. Cool. Let's get back on that. Let's look at the 8s again. I mean, some of it was coming out of this. It's only a level 1, though. Let's make this a 3. It should grab some and then push down to these guys. We also have a level 1 here. This should be a 3, I think. It's freighting a lot of stuff. Holy moly. Or maybe it's Warsaw. Warsaw probably could, get most of this stuff. Let's make Warsaw a 3. Okay. We'll actually make this a 2. It's a smaller area, so a 2. We'll make this a 2 again. And we'll try to run as much. No, wrong. This was a 1. Let's make it a 2. Let's make this a 3. You always want to go 1, 2, 3. So let's make that a 3. This is a 1, that's a 2. I like that. Vilnius, is a 2. It's drawing. I think that's all right. I think that's is it better? I don't know if it's better, but it's okay. Now, down here, the rail, where would we want to come out of? Probably Lvov. Now, is the rail okay into Lvov? It is. So that's a 2. The rail gets broken here. So it's coming around this way. And you can see Lvov is getting some of these units over here, but a lot of it's coming out of Proskurov, right? That's a level 3. Maybe it should be a level 4 along with Venitsa. Let's make that a 4. And let's make Lvov. Hardly anything's coming out of Tarnopol. We're going to be moving this way. Actually think I'm going to leave that as it was. Let's turn this back to a 3. All right. Wow, it's freighting the world out here. We have got to get this repaired right here. And then all the way up into Kiev. And that'll really reduce the number of trucks. So as we're pushing this back, okay, so we're going to need, we would like this repaired, certainly. Okay. And then where's major rail? Well, let's turn off 8. Where is major rail into Kiev? Kind of goes out this way. That didn't look great. But then you have this one. Now the Soviets are too close, and we've got to patch that up. Now look, from the south, actually, if we patch these, we're going into Kiev. And so we need to get these fixed. All right. We're going to nutcracker that this time. I've got FDB 5 here. Let's turn off the rail. Okay. Now it's because he stepped across here. It's showing yellow. All of this is okay. He's going to be the one, I say he, FBD5 is going to be the one that's out here trying to fix all of this nonsense. And then as we drive him back from here, somebody's going to have to come back this way. But if we could get this running all the way into Kiev, that's huge. Absolutely huge. Looking at this now, I don't think he cut this, right? Let's look at it again. Whoops, it's just yellow. That means he's next to this. This is red, but it comes up here. This needs to be fixed. Got it. Okay, we've got a secondary rail repair out here that's doing that. And then we need to come up here and do a repair there. Sorry, I'm not meaning to move anything, but I've got to move this over if we're going to do the logistics. So he's going to go there. Air landing unit's gone. Uh, and maybe that's what you guys were talking about last time. Certainly possible while you were talking about the air landing unit. Okay, that does not need to be repaired. Let's take that off. And then let's look at this again. That's getting repaired by secondary. We could, build on, that's the rail line to nowhere. We could build back this way. Let's do that. So we need to go to that hex right there. Don't want to take the headquarters. There we go. All right, he's going to go back there and start building back towards Zytomir. But that should open this up. We're going to make this a 3, feeding to a 4. The reason I had made it a 4 is because Kiev was otherwise detained. Zytomir, I'm going to build a depot here. Yes, that will be a level 3 depot funneling into the 4. So we've got our 3s out here. Zytomir's a good one to have. It's not hooked up yet. If we look at the rail, wrong. Zytomir, if we go straight across here, Zytomir is going to be in the network. It's like your HMO. Uh, Tarnopol, Proskorov, these are all 3s. I feel like maybe I have too many 3s out here. It really should be going 2, 2, but I may have to fix that later because right now, my 4s out here aren't necessarily popping freight out. So Venitsa, does that need to be a 4? Well, I don't know. Let's go back. Yeah, look at this though. It's supplying this stuff up here. That's why you got to get Zytomir and Kiev into the ball game. Kryvyi Rog is just doing it, man. Um, why is more? I mean, we're getting stuff into D-Town by rail. Why isn't more? I mean, we've got a straight shot there. Now this is turning a little orange. Maybe we also, this is the rail line to nowhere as well. Maybe we need to fix this up into here as well. And we can get set about that as we move forward. All right, I think that that's logistics. When it comes to the command structure, um, there is Army Group B. We talked about this last time. It's von Reichenau. That's fine. I'm not going to change that. It's just a matter of what do we want to report back up to him. I think 17th Army certainly should report back up to him. Speaking of 17th Army, there it is. It's a little oversubscribed, 29 of 27. We do have the ability to make it an assault army, I think. For some reason, I thought we already have 5. You've only got 5 in 1942. I think all of our panzers are. All right, where is my panzer? There it is. 1st Panzer Army. That's under von Kleist. That indeed is an assault army, 38 of 45 on his command. Okay. Where is the easiest way to do this is to always go find a headquarters and then trace it back. Zytomir, 4th Panzer Army. Oh, yes. Evan Rommel is out here, 24 or 45. He could certainly take on more, but he is an assault army, so that's 2. And then I think 6th Army and 11th Army both are. They are. And then I think 2nd Panzer is. All right, so Hans Guderian, yeah, he is. Okay, so we've got our 5. We can't do any more. Army Group South, the old Army Group South is now Army Group A. That is under Gunther von Klug. And he's going to scoot around, and we're going to start um, getting some of these in command now that we have Army Group B. So we're going to take originally 17th Army, okay, and we're going to put that into Army Group B. Simple enough. And so there's his Army Group. He's 29 of 27. Can we set him as an assault? Yeah, that's what I thought we had five. You can have six in 1941. You can have five in 1942. So, and then in 43, you can only have four, I believe. I think it goes down one every year. All right, back here we have 1st Panzer Army that is going towards Army Group A. Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's have 1st Panzer Army be part of Army Group B. Okay. Now then, he's already gotten 67 units. That's quite a bit. Just make sure 38 of 45. All right, that looks good. If we trace this back, oh, this motorized unit got rebuilt. 12 of 12 for 14th Panzer Corps. If we start at the bottom now, these Romanians are reporting up to Romanian armies. Romanian Corps, you can see he's way out. I should have fixed that a long time ago. He needs to go to 3rd Romanian Army, if possible. Where is that? It's up here. 3rd Romanian Army. He's got 26 of 27 already. And really, why is he up here? He doesn't need to be up here. He should be down here with the Romanians. Get with your guys. We'll go into Kherson first. Let him sit there. Speaking of which, we need to look at this. Let's make Kherson a 3. Well, hell, it probably should be a 4. Let's make it a 4. All right. Odessa's a 2, so it'll be pulling out this way. Does this have, what level is the rail yard? It's only a level 1, but that's all right. I mean, we need the more of this we can get. Wait a minute, is nickel level a level 2 though? Nope, it's level 1 rail yard. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna look at all these. You know how that goes. Oh, this is a level 2. Well, hell's bells. Are those connected? They are. Excellent. All right, we'll make this a 3, and we'll make this a 4. And it should come right down the rail and start supplying a bunch of Romanians. I like it. So we've got 3rd Group Army now here. He's commanding these guys, and oh, didn't move the headquarters, dummy. All right. Um, I don't think it makes sense to have this cavalry reporting. This is 3rd Romanian Corps. Okay. 3rd Romanian Corps only got 6. Let's have it go back to 1st Panzer. Why not? Because 1st Panzer then still only has 45 of 45. That works, and now they light up orange like they're official. This armored unit's actually pretty good, so okay, I don't feel bad about that. And then this group can go into 3rd Romanian Army. All right, well, look at us solving problems already. He's at 20 of 27. Perfect. Both of these guys are 3rd Romanian. He is also 3rd Romanian, so it's 10. So that makes sense. 10, 20. And then this core has got nothing in it. Um, got it. Okay. These Germans, we've got 2nd Corps that goes back to 17th Army. We should really make these guys green because he is in 17th Army. Now, 17th is a little oversubscribed, but not bad. Let's actually change his color, and we'll go with some kind of green. That kind of green? That's kind of mint. Uh, not that I know so much about colors, but that looks mint to me. Um, oh gosh, does it really matter? Not really. Let's make it kind of mint. Fine. Um, how does that look? Does that look better? Can you tell the difference? Yeah, I think you can tell the difference a little bit. They're green. They look different than that green and that green and that green. So that's all I really want. All right. So now these guys down here, 2nd Corps. Who's the guy with the awesome goatee? It's Ringel. Ooh, is he a bad commander? No. Why in the world did I still have him out here? We're going to go with Herman Bulk. Bulk will bring it. Look at that. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Oh, also, let's look at their Let's see what kind of support you. Oh gosh, nope. Nothing cooking there. All right, so now Balk is back here. He's a very good general. You can still tell they're the Germans. This is all going to be fine, or should be fine. First Panzer Corps should be fine. Let's look around. That's all we really, in some respects, needed to do over here is just get Army Group B and um, say, oh, okay, we've got Army Group B in a good spot. Now, that is their only infantry. As we look back here, 55th Corps, he's 10 of 12. So this is an assault army. But if we look, 11th Army's got 43, 6th Army's got 39. Okay, that's pretty good. 3rd Panzer Corps goes directly back into 1st Panzer Army. Looks good to me. This is kind of messy down here. This motorized corps needs to get back to his guys. We brought him down here to try to do the second pocket down here. Didn't really work out that well. 8 of 12. He's only got 5 of 12. Okay. He's got 10 of 12. Oh, I should look at this. 11 of 12. If I'm looking back at the infantry again, really he could go, he really probably should be in here, but we've already used some assault armies. Now, 6th and 11th could maybe divvy up a little bit better, but I think we'll keep that the same. We'll keep it how it is for now. 30th Corps is up here with 8 of 12, 6 of 12. As you can see, we're got a, pretty decent command spread, I guess you'd say. So it's 6th Army that could take more potentially. How much? It's 11 points. He could go in here. I just don't have any room left over in 17th. I really want these guys to be in 17th Army. Maybe I change around what's an assault army, but I'm not going to do that right now. He's got 10 of 12. All of his guys are right in here. They're there. Who are you reporting back to? Oh, I have 2 commands down here. Okay, that looks fine. 6 of 12, 8 of 12. We could consolidate some of this, certainly under better generals. Von Salmuth, 5676. Meanwhile, you've got 8767, Kreising. We'd much rather they be with Kreising. So this is 27th. He's only got 6 of 12. He's got 8 of 12. Well, that's not good. Meanwhile, over here, we've got Friesner, who's excellent. And Friesner's only got 10 of 12. Okay. Friesner is 54th Corps, so we're going to put this guy in 54th Corps. Done. Then we're going to put these guys on all of them under Kreising. Kreising. So that's 27th. He's already with Kreising. Let's do the other. There we go. All right. You should be in 27th Corps. Right? 27th, 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 30th. Okay. Let's put all these guys under Kreising. 27th. Who are you, a 30th Corps? All right, let's put you in the 27th Corps. All right. Wow, another 30. Does Kreising? No, we're all good. We'll take this. We'll put you in 27th Corps. All right. Now Kreising's maxed out, but we can take von Salmuth and do something else with him. Maybe. Let's move him down here for now. Kind of near his main headquarters. Oh, hell, I'll just put him in. I don't want to forget he's there. I'll leave him on the railway. But now Kreising has command of all of this here. And Friesner has all of this here. All right, as we move up into the Panzer Corps, we've got Reinhard. He's more than a good general, 77777. He's got 12 of 12. All right, where's von Manstein? That is not von Manstein. Where is von Manstein? Did he get recalled? Nah, he couldn't have. Von Vettengoff is out here. That is 7667. Eh, hold on. Let's find First Panzer again. Those are the two head. Did I put? Oh shoot! I'm so sorry. Momentary confusion. I put von Manstein up here into Second Panzer. Okay, so these guys I think are good if we look at the headquarters. Reinhardt's 12 of 12. That's probably who you want to be 12 of 12. Vettengoff is, he's also 12 of 12. Okay, fine. Now what's going on here? This is 59th Corps. That is under Golnick, who's fine. That's plenty fine. Golnick has got 8 of 12. He could take on more. Now, what I may have to do offline is start bringing some of this stuff over into commands over here and shifting the command. We'll see. All right, Golnick's fine. Then we have 51st Corps, which is Reinhard, not Reinhardt. He's not particularly good. We've got a lot of AP. Hilpert. Look at Hilpert out here. I like it. 868. All sevens. It's Schultz. All right, let's give it to Schultz, the 51st. He has got 12 of 12. He's maxed out. We've got 10 of 12 out here. That is under Zorn. If I look back at Army Group, whoops. Yeah, there's Army Group A. He's got 55 now, and Army Group B has got 74. So he's actually got more. We're actually going to put Army Group B into Kryvyi Rog. The 17th Army, like we may just move up here. Let's get him up into Z-Town. He's ready. He's ready to go. All right, that's fine. First Panzer Army could probably move a little bit, but I'm going to keep him here for right now until we move some of the Panzers. As we move around here, though, we've got some things like, why is this going to Second Panzer Army? That makes absolutely no sense. It needs to either go back to Army Group A, 6th Army, looks like 11th Army is the place to go. Let's move this corps out of here. And let's bring, all right, so 6th Army's guys are to the east, 11th are to the west. That actually works out quite well. You are now part of the 11th Army. Okay, and 11th Army now has 45 of 45. Perfect. I assume 11th Army is going to Army Group A. It is. What about 6th Army? Yeah, Army Group A. How could that be? Wait a minute. Oh, he's going to OKH. That's, well, that was kind of the whole point of why you also get Army Group B. And now he's at 100 and 108, and we've got that other layer. So we had two assault armies out here, 6th and 11th, and they needed an army group. Now, 6th, I had into Army Group South, but that's over. And so now 6th may actually go into. No, that's perfect. He's got 74 and he's got 100. Okay, perfect. Now he's in this into 11th Army. Okay, that all works perfect. He's got 10 of 12. We've got Hungarians out here. I'll do that otherwise. We've got Italians out here. They're fixed. They should be. They just came on the map. We've got the 8th Italian Army. That's what all this is. So every headquarters should, he says, be going back to it, but it was not. That's going straight to 11th Army. That doesn't make sense. Let's go to the 8th Italian Army. All right, so now he has got 16 of 27, but all of these headquarters are going back to him now. Perfect. Okay, Hungarians, their commanders should be very close because we've got armies out here, and they are. That all looks good. Now, what do we have out here? We have 5th Corps that's going all the way back to just Army Group Center. All of these units out here are Army Group Center, but I may keep them that way, except this one. This is going 3rd Panzer Group, who, just because we have a good general, it doesn't have to be Panzers in there. Okay, Radovan von Manstein's got 13 of 12. And then, that was interesting. Hold on. Yeah, 13 of 12. He got some panzers out here out of command, but it looks like they held up okay. This got a little too tight for him to get through. I know some of you have complained that I have let that happen before. Now, we've got 14 of 12 and 13 of 12. What does that mean? Well, that means we probably need to take a panzer corps, such as this one, not with Vilkers. Do we have anybody that's better? I'm looking for mech ability. If you wonder what's he doing, bulk actually would have been perfect to put in there. He's got a great mech score. Don't do what I just did. Pull somebody with a great mech score to do this kind of, to do infantry work. 747. Tell you what, I'm going to look at that offline. I will be all ready to go when we live stream tomorrow. This is getting a little long. It's almost an hour and a half. Look, I know it's not the most exciting stuff, but if you guys are into the game, this is kind of some of the nitty gritty stuff. We look at the logistics, we look at the aircraft, we looked at some commands at least halfway up the map. We'll continue to look at them a little bit during the live stream tomorrow. But anyway, this has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll get after it again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific Coast time. That'll be Saturday. What is that? The 18th of September. Can you believe it? Of the year 2021. Anyway, thank you guys for joining. I'll talk to you next time.